The story begins with our protagonist introducing himself. His name is Lin Qing, and today is the first anniversary of his relationship with his girlfriend. He tells Chen Chen that he really likes her, and with a beautiful bouquet of flowers, he asks her where they could go to celebrate. But she, in a cold manner, calls him by his name and tells him that they are broken up. That is how our protagonist relates it, and consequently, he tells her not to leave him. But suddenly, a man with a luxurious car appears on the scene. Without getting out of the car, this man congratulates the protagonist's ex-girlfriend on her birthday and asks her to excuse him for arriving a bit late. She joins him and tells him that it is quite annoying because he took so long and she got stuck with our protagonist. He tells her not to worry, that he will take her to a high-end restaurant and buy her a gift. Consequently, he glances at our protagonist and tells him that chasing a girl requires money, asking if he hasn't looked at himself, wondering if he really thinks he is worth it. Meanwhile, they leave, leaving our protagonist stranded on the street, surrounded by the rumors of people talking about the matter, realizing that he is Lin Qing and is famous in his school for being a simp. He gets up early, works hard day and night, does part-time jobs, and saves money, all to please the one who used to be his girlfriend. They say they are dying of laughter because, after all of Lin Qing's efforts, the rich guy won her over in just a few days anyway, and it's because he has money. Our protagonist immediately collapses, wondering why this happened. If it is just because he is poor and a simp, he wonders if his sincere heart can be trampled on like this, if he has truly been a simp all these years, dying of rage and helplessness. He exclaims that he will never give his heart sincerely ever again. Suddenly, and out of nowhere, a sound and a voice alert our protagonist, telling him that it is activating the counterattack system of the Divine Tycoon, binding the system. It opens a window and displays a bunch of stats, but what catches his attention the most is the counterattack limit, as it specifies that he has trillions of dragon coins. Lin Qing, surprised, wonders what those things mean and why a system. Consequently, he is handed a golden card. The system tells him that there are riches valued in millions there, and that the host can spend at his leisure, and that whatever amount of money he spends, 1% will become his personal wealth. Our protagonist is surprised as he wonders if he really has trillions of coins and can spend those trillions of coins without restrictions. The system tells him that this is the case, but to keep the following in mind. The trillion counterattack coin limit can only be spent on counterattack events and on women. Any personal expense not related to this can only be covered by his own personal wealth. Our protagonist says that he only has 138 in personal wealth and that he will surely spend the golden counterattack money. He notes that the more he spends that golden counterattack money, the faster his personal wealth will grow. He gets up and goes from being completely dejected to full of absolute confidence, saying that the counterattack begins now. In his thoughts, our protagonist says that, however, they first need to find someone to test it on, noticing that there are so many people lining up at that store. Suddenly, he catches sight of a girl. He looks at her, confirming that she is Luo Yashi, the roommate of Liu Yichen, his ex-girlfriend. At that moment, the system pops up detecting a highly attractive woman, meaning he can start the counterattack mission. A window opens, stating that when Luo Yashi's affinity toward the host exceeds 90%, 10% of the counterattack gold spent will be returned as part of the host's personal wealth, and when it exceeds 100%, there will be an identity change, modifying the relationship into a subordinate one between the host and the target. But you and I both know that this whole submission thing is just some freaky business. Pretty spicy if you ask me. Our protagonist approaches Luo Yashi and asks if he can bother her for a moment, letting us see that his current relationship status with her is at minus 20%. She asks if he happens to be Lin Qing, guessing if he's here again to ask for help to chase after Chen Chen. She tells him to forget it and advises him to just give up already, since she now has a much richer boyfriend. Laughing, our protagonist tells her that she has misunderstood him, that he only wants to buy her a cup of milk tea. Thinking to himself that he's going to test this out on her first. She asks if he really wants to buy her a milk tea, making it clear that it's not necessary since they aren't close. Furthermore, she points out that they don't serve ordinary milk tea here, telling him to look closely at the price because a single cup of milk tea costs more than the money he spends on 10 days of food, asking if he can even afford it. Right after, the people waiting in line tell him to hurry up and buy already because they've been waiting for a long time, telling them not to waste any more time. Our protagonist tells them to please keep calm and wait a moment while he orders his stuff. He steps up to the counter and asks the employee how many cups of milk tea they have left. She replies that there are still 180 cups. He claims that's perfect and that he will buy all those 180 cups of milk tea and that he can give a cup to everyone present, telling them to consider it a gift from Luoyashi. Astonished, Luoyashi wonders why, since all those cups cost several tens of thousands of yuan, telling Lin Qing to think it through and not get himself into trouble. But he completely ignores her and tells the employee to just swipe the card, which confirms that 39,800 yuan have been successfully charged. Our prota, Lin Qing, tells her to hurry up and pack them for everyone, so as not to keep people waiting too long. Nodding, the employee proceeds with the order. Immediately, he wins over the favor and respect of the crowd, who make comments like, they didn't expect him to actually buy it, that he's awesome, asking if the rich guy still needs friends, and wondering if Lin Qing has now become interested in Luoyashi. Consequently, Luoyashi's favorability increases by 1%. Right away, our protagonist tells her that he has a small favor to ask and wonders if she could help him. She asks, with what? You can help me spend money. We change scenes to a shopping mall that sells rather expensive items. In this store are the two douchebags who had previously humiliated our protagonist. The ultimate douchebag tells Chen Chen that he has wanted to gift her this bag for a long time, but because of his mother, he can't do it, as she told him he spent money without control. And besides, he has already spent enough today. He asks if they can just eat first today and leave other matters for later. But she seems a bit disappointed, wondering if they are not going to buy it then. The chief douche tells Chen Chen that if she wants to pass his future mother-in-law's test, it's time for her to behave well. However, in her thoughts, she complains because the gifts he bought today don't even add up to a small fraction of that bag. But to marry into a rich family, she has to cast a good hook and catch a big fish. Suddenly, she hears a familiar voice. Her roommate was asking Lin Qing, our protagonist, what he thought of that bag. Luoyashi tells him that it is the store's exclusive treasure, a limited edition valued at 380,000 yuan, that she only planned to buy that and asked if he didn't mind. Our protagonist just stays there thinking for a while. However, Chen Chen, who was watching from afar, notices why Lin Qing and Luoyashi are here. But quickly and confidently, she comes to the conclusion that he is still following her again, that he can't accept that she has already left him, so he is begging Luoyashi to act along just to make her jealous, asking him if she hasn't already made it clear enough that they are broken up, wondering why he is being so obnoxious. But our protagonist asks her who is following her, that he was just accompanying someone to buy a bag. But an angry Chen Chen asks him if he came to Hermes to accompany someone to buy a bag, asking if he can't find a better excuse, telling him he's trying to act like something he's not. Suddenly, a notification chimes, and it's the system starting the counterattack mission, opening a window with almost the same type of stats as Luoyashi, having as a reward the modification of the subordinate relationship between the host and the target. Our protagonist tells Chen Chen that since they are already broken up, they have no relationship whatsoever. He can go wherever he wants, and that's exactly what he's going to do. That he doesn't need her giving him orders, asking her if she still thinks he is the same as before. She replies that he makes her laugh, asking if he has somehow become a wealthy man in just a few hours, claiming that nobody believes that. Meanwhile, the douchebag tells him to stop spouting empty words, that if he has what it takes, then he should actually buy that bag. Our protagonist says to let him think about it. Consequently, they mock him and say that it turns out he really can't afford it, telling him to recognize his limitations and leave. But Lin Qing says that just buying one bag is not enough, asking the manager if she could do him a favor, please, telling her to pack everything there is in this store, affirming that he is taking it all. Leaving everyone completely shocked and bewildered. Nobody can believe what Lin Qing is saying. Everyone stays on the edge of their seats, watching the situation unfold. The store employees politely approach our protagonist informing him that the total amount to pay is 11,320,000 yuan. The clown starts laughing out loud, saying that if he can actually afford to pay all that, he swears he will eat dirt while doing a backflip. His ex-girlfriend chiming in from the background tells Lin Qing that he is insane. But against all odds, or at least for them, Lin Qing's golden card goes through successfully, completing the purchase for a grand total of 11.32 million yuan. While the employees thank him for his purchase, our confident protagonist tells the ultimate douchebag that he didn't expect him to have such a peculiar talent, making it a perfect opportunity for him to expand his horizons, leaving everyone stunned, especially the douchebag. Luo Yashi's favorability increases by 42%, and she throws herself at our protagonist, calling him dear and saying he is truly wonderful, noting that unlike certain people who pretend to be loving and affectionate with their girlfriends in public, but aren't actually willing to spend a single dime from the bottom of their hearts. Yeah, right. I don't trust you either. Surprisingly, Chen Chen's favorability also increases by 10%. Meanwhile, the angry douchebag demands to know where he got the money. Chen Chen quickly turns to the douchebag, expecting him to do something as well. But he tells her not to stoop to his level, claiming that only the nouveau rich would brag so much everywhere and do trashy, classless things like that, whereas truly rich kids like him maintain a low profile. Just then, someone else arrives at the scene, and it turns out to be his sugar mama. She storms in, yelling the douchebag's name, and when he asks what she's doing there, he gets cut off by a heavy slap to the face. She calls him a despicable man, shouting that she bought him clothes, shoes, a watch, and even lent him her car, and yet he is still cheating on her. He falls to the floor and approaches her on his knees, begging for forgiveness, claiming it's all her fault, that she seduced him, and that he only has his sugar mama in his heart. Chen Chen has no idea what is going on, and everyone around them starts mocking the situation. Then the sugar mama tells him that if that's true, she will give him a chance right now. If he slaps Chen Chen, she will forgive him. In utter disbelief, Chen Chen can't seem to credit her ears. But then it happens. And in a scornful manner, the sugar mama calls her a gold digger who seduces other people's boyfriends, declaring that the necklace around her neck belongs to her. Overwhelmed and desperate, Chen Chen looks at our protagonist and steps closer to hug him, but he coldly turns his back on her. She calls out his name, but seeing no response, she simply runs away from the place in tears. However, our protagonist finds it strange because he notices her favorability has actually increased by 1%, wondering why her affection for him grew despite his indifference. The sugar mama drags the douchebag away. Luo Yashi approaches our protagonist and tells him she didn't expect Mr. Wong to be like that, feeling a bit sorry for Chen Chen since she was left looking so bad. Meanwhile, our protagonist smiles, saying that a materialistic woman deserves no sympathy, telling her not to worry about her and asking what else she would like to see. In her thoughts, Luo Yashi notes that it seems Chen Chen stands absolutely no chance now, telling the protagonist that he treats her so well she doesn't know how to thank him enough. Lin Qing tells her, "Then offer me your body." What? Her favorability increases by 10%, playfully calling our protagonist a creep and telling him he's annoying, asking what on earth he is saying and remarking that he acts like a demon, bringing Luo Yashi's total favorability to 62%. She tells him that receiving without giving anything in return is an act of discourtesy, and, as a thank you, he should let her spend some money on him too. Mystified, he asks if she is really going to spend money on him. She takes him to a clothing store, and Lin Qing looks genuinely surprised. She drags him into a fitting room to help him pick out clothes. The employee tries to stop them, saying that isn't allowed, but they don't listen to her. She tells him in front of the mirror, "There you go. You don't even fix yourself up a bit. No wonder some people look down on you." Then she goes to the counter, stating she will take those few items. Right after that, our protagonist walks out of the fitting rooms, fully dressed and completely transformed. Girls who were in the store are stunned by how handsome he looks. Consequently, Luo Yashi's favorability increases by another 10%. Her total favorability is now at 72%. In her thoughts, she notes that she didn't expect him to be so handsome, thinking this guy is definitely a hidden treasure. If Chen Chen didn't know how to appreciate him, then she might as well keep him for herself. Our protagonist, looking at himself in the mirror, can't believe he has become so good-looking, muttering that he also spent money like a total simp. Luoyashi just spent about 7,000 or 8,000 yuan on him. You're telling me she didn't actually buy the clothes herself, right? We change scenes to the girls' dormitory. Luoyashi enters her room and finds Chen Chen, who is drying her hair. She asks her if her face is okay and if she is doing well. Chen Chen replies not to worry, that she is fine, and that thanks to our protagonist, she was able to uncover Wang's true intentions. Otherwise, she would still be living a lie. Wow, shameless. Luoyashi agrees, saying it's all thanks to Lin Qing, telling her that in the future, she needs to keep her eyes wide open and stop dating people like that Wang guy. Luoyashi makes a subtle gesture, essentially asking what she should do with that luxury bag. But Chen Chen tells her that the bag was bought by Lin Qing for her, so she should keep it. Luoyashi gets excited and hugs her, saying that in that case, she won't hold back, admitting she was worried Chen Chen would mind. Chen Chen replies how could she mind, since they are best friends after all. However, in her thoughts, Chen Chen notes that she has been involved with Lin Qing for 3 years, and that time can't just be erased by some nobody who just showed up like her. Meanwhile, Luoyashi thinks that's what she gets for being blind and failing to realize he was rich, concluding that now he belongs to her. We change scenes, and now we are in the boys' dormitory. Our protagonist reflects on how he spent the whole day accompanied by that girl and is exhausted. He hopes he doesn't have to repeat the same routine every time he wants to spend money like a simp, thinking that maybe he needs to find a different way. At that moment, a group of guys is walking down the stairs. Our protagonist refers to one of them as his upperclassman. Apparently, his name is Guajin, and he is mocking our protagonist because it looks like he spent a lot of money on that outfit. Meanwhile, the other guys with him assume he bought knockoffs of famous brands just to flex like he's actually rich, a poor guy pretending to be someone he's not. Guajin approaches our protagonist, throwing an arm around his neck, saying, "Little Lin Qing, I heard about what happened this morning. Keep your chin up. In my opinion, you spent way too much money chasing Chen Chen only for her to dump you anyway. It would be better to hop onto a live stream room and send gifts so the host adores you and fulfills all your wishes. But actually, forget it, because those things cost money and it's not something you can afford. A kid like you can only think about cheap stuff." The guys then chime in, mentioning that the green tea goddess is already live. Excited, our protagonist declares that he is also planning to join the live stream room to drop a ton of gifts, thanking Guajin before taking off. They watch him leave and keep mocking him, with one of them saying it's boring and that he'd rather just watch the live stream himself. We change scenes to our protagonist's bedroom. He is lying down with his phone, downloading the app to watch the live stream. For his username, he decides he's simply going to call himself Poor But Loaded. Since it's his first time watching a stream, he decides to browse and sees the list of girls broadcasting. He wonders why there is only a leaderboard and none of them seem to be live. But then he tries to recall the name of the girl those guys had mentioned. He searches for her and finally finds her room. Seeing her, he gets excited, noting she has an energetic vibe. He wonders if he can trigger a counterattack mission right through the screen. At that moment, the system pops up to explain a couple of things. The first is that the counterattack target must have a beauty score of at least 80 points. Otherwise, the counterattack mission cannot be initiated. The second is that live streams can be heavily affected by the filters being used, making it difficult to get a perfect evaluation unless they are seen in person. But it's still doable. Our protagonist remarks that the system seems to understand the situation quite well, adding that based on his impression anyway, this girl seems to have a pretty high beauty score, so it shouldn't be an issue. But then he says, who cares? After all, he has so much money that he couldn't possibly spend it all. Right then, a viewer who is already quite well known in that community drops a donation. She thanks him for such a grand gift. Some users in the chat comment that it's no surprise he's the leaderboard leader, noting that he usually tends to donate around 10,000 gold coins. His username is Su Chao, and he rises to Emerald level 24. Our protagonist notices that his upperclassman, the guy from the stairs, is also in the chat. Our protagonist, Lin Qing, wonders how gifts are supposed to be sent. He also realizes that his upperclassman does everything Su Chao says and is practically his simp. So our protagonist, under the username Poor But Loaded, drops a comment asking what it takes to be number one on the leaderboard, wondering if he needs to buy her tons of designer items or just give her a boatload of money. Su Chao responds with just ellipses. Jin Wang, his upperclassman, barks at him, asking who he thinks he is and what right he has to stick his nose into Su Chao's conversation. A rather annoyed Su Chao tells the streamer Cha Cha to get rid of him. The PK against Xuan Xuan is about to start, and she is incredibly nervous. Looking at her setup, she figures she will still need Su Chao for the upcoming battle and thinks this low-level user is clearly a newbie who has never sent a gift before. She considers him quite bold for talking like that and asks the moderator to ban him. Our protagonist realizes he has been kicked out of the room. He shrugs it off, saying it's fine and that he'll just go enjoy Xuan Xuan's stream instead. The PK begins and the two streamers face off to see who receives the most valuable gifts. Or at least that's what he gathers. Shan Chan, the one who kicked our protagonist out, tells Xuan Xuan not to sweat it, mocking her because she knows she doesn't stand a chance. Xuan Xuan fires back, saying it doesn't matter if she has the number one on her leaderboard because her own numbers are powerful too, demanding they just start the fight already. The battle kicks off and the gifts and scores immediately lean heavily in Chan Chan's favor. The event is nearing its end and the chat is telling her to take her punishment and start dancing. Xuan Xuan and her simp Jin Wang taunt her, saying she was acting all high and mighty a moment ago and should just accept defeat. With a thoroughly defeated expression, she sighs and agrees. But at that exact moment, a notification triggers. Our protagonist bought a gift. Poor But Loaded sends Xuan Xuan a golden dragon. Su Chao is stunned, wondering who on earth this guy is, seeing that he is sending a golden dragon worth 15,000 gold coins right now. Xuan Xuan enthusiastically thanks brother Poor But Loaded for the golden dragon. Chan Chan stands up, wondering if this Poor But Loaded guy is the same one from earlier. Laughing, our protagonist notes that he finally found the most expensive gift in the whole place, wondering if he should just keep spamming this one. He didn't expect the system's golden card to be able to remotely top up the streaming platform. The funds are ready, it's flexing time. Our protagonist starts showering Xuan Xuan with golden dragons multiple times, 5 times, 10 times, and then 20 times. Poor But Loaded keeps donating golden dragons, leaving Chan Chan completely devastated and Xuan Xuan ecstatic as the PK scores begin to reverse. Chan Chan jumps up and tells him to hold on, claiming she was so startled that she forgot to mention it, telling Poor But Loaded that it's currently an unfavorable time to use the golden dragon, advising him to wait and use it during the castle stage to grab the double points before unleashing it. Su Chao begins to think that this fool got banned because of him, and now that it's too late, he must be completely frustrated about blowing his entire life savings. Others in the chat claim he's just spending his parents' money, calling him an inexperienced amateur at this. But Poor But Loaded just ramps it up, donating the golden dragon 120 times, 240 times, and then 320 times. Everyone starts getting genuinely terrified because the golden dragons just won't stop. And so our protagonist kept donating until reaching a staggering count of 1,600 times. Su Chao is literally shaking, wondering if he has finally stopped, muttering that he has been watching Cha Cha's streams for a whole year and has only spent over 3 million, but this guy is unbelievable. Cha Cha is left devastated in her setup, realizing that 1,600 golden dragons equal a grand total of 24 million Chinese coins. Xuan Xuan begins to express her gratitude, saying, "Thank you to brother Poor But Loaded. Thank you so much for that golden dragon." Exceptionally thrilled, she declares her love for him multiple times. Right after, her chat begins to mock the other side, pointing out that this user, Poor But Loaded, had actually been banned from the other chat. They comment that they must be kicking themselves right now, and that from here on out, all their efforts will be completely in vain. A confident Xuan Xuan taunts Cha Cha, asking why she is just sitting there. She asks if she accidentally soiled her pants and tells her to get up and take her punishment, laying out the exact rules for her dance. Left with no other choice, Cha Cha accepts defeat and begins to dance. She begs for forgiveness from Mr. Poor But Loaded, saying she is sorry, that she made a mistake, and that she should have never banned him. The chat fills with praise, completely idolizing our protagonist. Cha Cha is deeply regretful, muttering that if it wasn't for Su Chao, those 1,600 golden dragons would have been hers. Meanwhile, our protagonist wins everyone's respect and claims the #1 spot on the leaderboard as Su Chao leaves the room. Xuan Xuan declares victory and thanks brother Poor But Loaded for helping her win this PK. As the event wraps up, our protagonist receives multiple notifications. One is a message from a guy in his building offering an apology and asking if they can be friends. Another is from Xuan Xuan, who expresses that she doesn't know how to thank him enough and shares her phone number. The last one is a direct message from Cha Cha begging for forgiveness. She mentions that, according to his profile, she noticed he lives in the city of Yanhian, calling it a coincidence because she has a photo shoot scheduled there tomorrow. She asks if he would accept an invitation to dinner. In her thoughts, she reflects that losing a PK battle is ultimately insignificant. She believes she is far more attractive than Xuan Xuan, and as soon as she secures the financial backing of Poor But Loaded, everything will sort itself out. Our protagonist thinks this is perfect, as he was just worried about running out of tasks and not having enough cashback reimbursement money. He views it as falling asleep and immediately being handed a pillow. She assumes he's on board and kisses her phone, replying that she will see him the day after tomorrow and is incredibly excited. Changing scenes to the boys' dormitory, our protagonist is waking up. He gets out of bed, noting it has been a while since he slept that well. Suddenly, he gets a message. One of his roommates suggests they go grab breakfast together, but our protagonist tells them to go ahead without him, because a girl is bringing him breakfast. They shudder, gathering together to gossip about how he is already talking nonsense so early in the morning. They assume that after such a painful rejection, he has lost his mind, reasoning that it couldn't possibly be a different girl since he has been chasing the same one for 3 years. They agree they should take him out drinking tonight to comfort him and help him through it. We cut back to the girls' dormitory. A group of guys has gathered to deliver lunch. Some mention they plan to give theirs to Chen Chen, while others say they are giving theirs to Luo Yaxi. They chat for a bit, asking if anyone saw their recent social media status updates. They mention that Chen Chen is single now and must be feeling vulnerable, and that Luo Yaxi posted that the person she had always been looking for was right behind her, leaving the guys arguing over who that person might be. Just then, someone approaches, laughing and mocking them. It's the upperclassman from the stairs, asking them what the difference is between a simp and them. He tells them to take a look at Lin Qing, our protagonist, noting that they will see there is no future in being a simp. He calls one of them a suck-up, and everyone begins to mutter that it's true that the guy chased her for 3 years. They turn around and ask the upperclassman if he also prepared breakfast for Luo Yaxi. Laughing and mocking them, he asks if they really call that a breakfast, boasting that this is a real breakfast, a dish that costs 600 yuan. Everyone is shocked by how expensive it is. The upperclassman tells them they know nothing, claiming that to chase a girl you need to spend big money. He argues that if you only spend a few dozen yuan on gifts, you're just cheap, boasting that they will see how he conquers her in a week. They take note of it, but notice that the girls are already coming downstairs. Everyone runs over to hand them their lunches, showering them with praise and compliments. Luo Yaxi accepts the upperclassman's lunch with complete indifference. The guys are left completely stunned and speechless because he actually managed to deliver it, just as expected from their superior, Jin Wang. Spotting our protagonist and his friends, Jin Wang shouts over to his old friend asking if he just got there. He mockingly asks if he is also planning to give his lunch to Chen Chen, teasing that even though she dumped him yesterday, surely his 3 years of perseverance will carry him through. Our protagonist's friends get angry. However, Chen Chen has already ordered takeout. She mentions that today won't work out, so she asks him to leave, adding that maybe he'll have better luck tomorrow. At that exact moment, Luo Yaxi sprints past right toward our protagonist, asking him if he hasn't had breakfast yet. He replies no, asking if she didn't get his message early this morning, saying he wanted to take her out to breakfast. In the background, his friends are losing it, realizing that what Lin Qing said was actually true and that the girl turned out to be Luo Yaxi. Jin Wang stands there completely shocked. Sheng Sheng gets angry at what Luo Yaxi is doing. While in the background, the food she ordered is brought to her. Luo Yaxi's favorability increases by 7%. She goes over to our protagonist and tells him to try these macarons, bragging about how they are made and how expensive they are. Lin Qing seems quite excited as he can't believe she brought him breakfast. but her affection toward him has increased. However, Sheng Sheng doesn't let her take the initiative and steps in, offering and showing off the breakfast that was just brought to her, telling him that she made a mistake yesterday and asking him to let her make it up to him. She says she understands how hard he has worked over the last 3 years, that she is moved because he brought her breakfast all that time, and she was simply too naive and got deceived, asking him if he forgives her. Our protagonist looks at her with a look of annoyance and thinks that she is using that tactic again. Every time she disappointed him and he tried to give up over the last 3 years, she would comfort him this way, but as soon as he goes back to being her faithful follower, she immediately distances herself from him. He thinks she shouldn't believe he will still let himself be controlled like before. Definitely not. So he walks away and tells her that she shouldn't get so close to him, as it would be uncomfortable for her actual followers. Luo Yashi mocks her on the inside, thinking that he rejected her, and that while that tactic used to work without fail, now it had no effect, possibly because of her. But Sheng Sheng thinks otherwise and says that he still cares about her, since he worries about her image. She believes he is definitely still in love with her. Lin Qing gets startled and wonders how it's possible for the affection of both to increase at the same time. Meanwhile, his classmate and company are saying they don't know what is going on because they are competing for Lin Qing, since both are fighting for him to eat their breakfast. They sit on a bench and start taking very good care of him, even feeding him by mouth, while his classmates still can't believe the situation. How is it possible that Sheng Sheng and Luo Yashi are competing for a man like Lin Qing? Asking themselves multiple times, by what right? Our protagonist looks at him confidently, replying that that's life and that at least someone is feeding him. Since last night he was pressing the phone more than 1,600 times and his finger is numb. Sheng Sheng asks him if his hand hurts and tells him to let her see, while Luo Yashi kneels down to feed him. A scene that only provokes jealousy for the audience watching, to the point where Jin Wang can no longer stand it. Luo Yashi asks our protagonist what he thinks of the food. Lin Qing replies that it's good, however, he doesn't really like the bright red color. Immediately, Sheng Sheng gets upset, telling her not to shake Lin Qing too much. Luo Yashi whispers in his ear that she will change color later, causing Jin Wang to finally cough up blood from his mouth, causing a whole scene while they take him to the hospital. Then they take a photo of them and post it on the official campus site, and the event quickly becomes famous. They also talk about how Lin Qing pressed the phone 1,600 times yesterday, referring to the popular event that happened yesterday with the streamer, since the user Poor But Loaded donated 1,600 golden dragons. Some say not to be fooled because everything was set up by Lin Qing. It's illogical for two beauties to be giving him breakfast. Quickly, the protagonist's friends inform him that it has appeared in the campus forum. Seeing the exaggeration of the news, he runs away instead, leaving the two girls behind who blame each other for causing the scandal and making Lin Qing leave. Our protagonist hides from the group of campus reporters, but at that moment he receives messages from the streamer Cha-Cha. She writes to him that she will arrive at 7:30 p.m. tonight at Jiangxia Airport, asking him if he is going to pick her up. Our protagonist says that the number of tools to make money has increased, and he is already excited to meet her in person. We change scenes to the airport. Our protagonist says that she said she had already gotten off the plane, wondering why he still doesn't see her. He hopes she isn't one of those streamers who wears so much makeup that, upon seeing her in person, not even her own mother recognizes her. Then he notices a small altercation in the area. A man wants to take Cha-Cha away. He realizes it's her. Lin Qing steps in and tells him that he should get a new pair of glasses since he can't even notice Cha-Cha's look of disgust. This man, angry, asks him who he is, that he is someone who has given Cha-Cha many gifts. She gets excited and tells him that he is Brother Keen, as his clothes match what he told her by message. The one with glasses, realizing it was Mr. Keen, apologizes for what he had done. She says that fortunately he appeared because that guy wanted to take her to the car, that he suddenly showed up and said he was a fan of her when she doesn't know him at all. On the inside, she thinks that the one with glasses has barely given her any money and already wants to take her to the car. She approaches our protagonist and tells him that she always thought Mr. Keen was a successful businessman in his 40s, and that she didn't expect him to be so young and handsome. Our protagonist tells her to just call him Lin Qing, and that he didn't expect her to look better than she did in her live streams. She says that brother Lin Qing really knows how to talk. The notification is activated and the counterattack mission begins, starting with a current affection level of 30%. Suddenly, a gentleman greets Cha-Cha. She asks him why he has come here, introducing brother Qian to Mr. Chow, who has been sending her many gifts lately. He tells her that of course he is here to pick her up, that he can't let her get into the car of a private transport driver, asking who that gentleman next to her is. She tells him that he is the user Poor But Loaded, who is brother Qian. He says that he is the talented Mr. Qian, who became famous in a single game, and that he didn't expect him to be so young. He adds that if he had known Mr. Qian was going to pick up Cha-Cha, he wouldn't have brought his modest car just to avoid making a fool of himself. He asks what kind of car Mr. Qian could have as his transport. Our protagonist replies that it is his small electric scooter. The gentleman is surprised by how unusual it is, but says he will take her then. Our protagonist says, "Great, thanks," but asks where he is going to put his small electric scooter. The other tells him they can carry it on the roof. The man thinks to himself that this guy seems to be just over 20 years old, wears clothes that only cost a few dozen yuan, and doubts if he really is Mr. Qian, the one who has spent more than 20 million on gifts. Then he comments that Mr. Qian's discretion surprises him, asking if they call this the greatness of simplicity. He says that surely Cha-Cha wouldn't mind riding on the small electric scooter with him, but considering she has so much luggage, it would be more convenient for them to get into his vehicle, asking what Mr. Qian thinks. Lin Qing replies that Mr. Chow is right. Cha-Cha thinks to herself whether this really is Mr. Qian. They arrive at the venue and Cha-Cha enters, greeting everyone. A group of men sitting at a table say that the protagonist is finally here. One says that Cha-Cha is more beautiful than last time. Pointing to our protagonist, she introduces him as Mr. Qian. Everyone is surprised to hear that, asking if he is the real one and admiring how young he is. Then our protagonist, Lin Qing, thinks about it and now understands. Mr. Chow said he would invite him to dinner to apologize, but in reality, he also invited some big sponsors who also send gifts to her. It is a dinner with the big names from Cha-Cha's stream room, so it is no wonder she is so famous on the Boya live stream, exclaiming that she does not lack cleverness at all. Then someone at the dinner comments that Mr. Chow said Mr. Qian went on his small electric scooter to pick up Cha-Cha. Someone bursts out laughing, saying that there is no way, that it cannot be possible, and completes the sentence by saying that most likely Mr. Qian wanted to play a joke on Cha-Cha, because how could it be possible that someone who has spent more than 20 million on gifts still does not have enough money to buy a car? Looking aggressively, he asks him if he is correct. He adds that if those 20 million came out of Mr. Qian's pocket, then his net worth cannot be less than 1 billion. He tells him that he knows many people in the city of Jiangxia, but points out to Mr. Qian that his last name is Lim, right? And that none of the richest people in the city of Jiangxia have that last name. Others say that if that is true, the one who drove them is an imposter and that he made him carry his scooter. Another asks Cha-Cha if she has seen any photos of Mr. Qian before. All of this drops Cha-Cha's affection by 10%, thinking that on the way here, she looked at her mobile phone and it is true that he looks quite poor, wondering if it could be that he was taking revenge on her. But she says it doesn't matter, because after all, any kind of man is just her ATM. The only thing that worries her is that he might not have enough money for her to spend. The protagonist tries to defend himself by saying thanks for worrying about her, but asks if the Lin family isn't one of the 3 richest in Shanghai, asking Lin Qing if he happens to be the young master of the Shanghai family. Our protagonist thinks that it seems she is defending him, but in reality, she is verifying his identity. He asks about the Lin family of Shanghai, saying that he does not know them and that, in any case, they do not have more money than him. They start laughing, saying that he is a braggart, asking him if he spent all that money on the lottery and now he is spending it on streamers, and that even so he couldn't go out with Chuan Chuan and now he plans to trick Cha-Cha, mocking that he takes advantage of the fame and doesn't even have a car. Our protagonist says exactly that he doesn't have any car. Taking her by the shoulder and pulling Cha-Cha close to him, he asks her what kind of car she likes, that he is going to buy it for her right now. They get angry, and one stands up telling him where he is putting his hands and how he can ask such an irresponsible question, that it is not like buying vegetables at the market, and that he should stop pretending to be rich. Cha-Cha's affection decreases by -15%. He asks her if he is serious, and she says thanks, that she likes Ferraris, specifically the Ferrari F80, telling him that if he gives it to her, she will give him an equivalent gift too. Our protagonist says that it is impressive that she is so friendly and tender. He notes that this is her appearance now, but that her favorability has decreased, thinking that her acting skills are impressive. He leaves the place and tells her that she is going to have it then. Time passes and it gets later into the night. Half an hour has gone by. In the venue, they comment that the guy with the last name Lin really made a fool of himself. That he was just a clown, telling Cha-Cha why they don't go sing at the karaoke. She replies fine, while inside she thinks that Lin Ching really is a fraud, and that she had a small hope in him. Suddenly, a scorching light invades everyone's field of vision, blinding them completely. They ask what is happening. It is our protagonist, who brought the entire lot of sports cars.